And a very good afternoon from Champéry, Switzerland. We are here for the Gruyère European Curling Championships 2014.
It is my pleasure to introduce the team for the 7th row of the men's round robin.
We are here in the Palladium. And we take a look at the inside of the arena. This is draw 7 for the men, and we're going to be bringing you coverage of Norway versus Sweden. I'm Kenny Edwards, and I'm joined by Logan Gray. Teams just being announced to the spectators.
Yeah, good morning. Sorry, good afternoon, Kenny. Let's meet the teams. Norway, Håvard Vod Pettersson playing lead. Christopher SWE playing second. Torgeir Nergård playing third. And of course the enigmatic skip Thomas Ulsrud, Sander Rovog, the alternate, and Petter Moat, the coach. Sweden, Kristoffer Sundgren is the lead. Christian Lindström is the second. The professor, Oscar Eriksson, playing third. And Niklas Edin, the skip Henrik Lek, is the alternate, and Pia Lindholm, the team coach.
We ask everyone to turn off their cell phones and please no flash photography during the games. Enjoy the games.
Final preparations being made by the two teams, and I think we're in for a bit of a treat this afternoon, Kenny.
Yeah, I think so. Both these teams have played each other numerous times, but before we talk about the teams, let's have a look at the standings. Sweden 6-0, yet to be toppled this week. And then there's a whole gaggle of teams with 4 wins, 2 losses, 3 wins, 3 defeats. So all still to play for.
Yeah, and perhaps the Czech Republic still in with an outside chance on 2 wins. Certainly would need a big performance in the second half of the week. They'll play against Denmark on sheet A, Russia and Scotland 3-3 on sheet B, Switzerland and Germany 3-3 on sheet D, and Italy up against Latvia on sheet E. So a couple of interesting matchups out there, and maybe after this draw we'll have a better idea of who the teams may be in the playoff situation at the end of the week.
Yeah, so I expect both these teams to be pretty confident in the way they're playing, and we'll just go from it from the word go, so there'll be a lot of stones in play from the first end.
Well, here's Kristoffer Sundgren, also known as Kripa. Comes from Karlstad in Sweden, and enjoys a bit of football and ice hockey as well.
So, Håvard van Petersen for Norway. Long time leads for Thomas Ulsrud. Drawing around this centre guard. This team of Thomas Ulsrud and Håvard van Petersen, they won the World Championships last year.
Yeah, they also won their first European Championships in this very building 4 years ago, Kenny. Got off to a little bit of a slow start this week, but been a terrific performance earlier on today. And of course, 3 of the players in this team were in the world final against Thomas Ulsrud. Of course, Niklas Edin, the only one not present at that championships. But the team was led by Oscar Eriksson. He stepped down to play third for the Olympian skip, Niklas Edin. And he's brought a couple of his mates with him as well.
So interesting, they're just having a bit of chat about the stones here in the first end, so they're obviously not really happy with the set of rocks they've got. Maybe feel one curls a little bit more than the other.
Well, the problem here is that the handle's not working, I think, so they're just asking an umpire to come out and stand at the hog line. Going old school for this one. So Christopher Spa just going for an in-turn tap back control weight takeout to lie 2 here. And just does enough just to chip it over, and Norway lying 1 with that stone at the top of the 4-foot.
Yeah, Sweden won't be too worried yet, but Christian Lindstrom, very accurate second player.
Yeah, he was born in Lit in Sweden. And of course was part of the World Junior Champion team in 2011 in Perth, Scotland. Well, he's come up a little bit short with that one. He's double guarded that stone at the top of the 4-foot. And Sva will get another chance to remove this stone at the back of the 4. 6 ends minimum must be played in the round robin stages. Both teams get 38 minutes of thinking time, and both teams are entitled to 1 takeout.
This one's just sitting on the high side.
So I think we'll see Niklas Edin choosing to open things up here with the last stone. Just going to try and drill these yellows back down in the centre line.
Yeah, not going at a crazy weight, just throwing a delicate barrier weight.
Oh, lovely shot there. Really well executed by Christian after his mistake with his first stone. Coming up very shy with his drop. And it's those kind of shots that Christian played at the World Men's Championships in Beijing this year that took the team to the silver medal.
Yeah, both these teams so good at manufacturing multiple scores throughout the game.
Well, Torger Nørgaard here is going to come around the corner guard and try and take that yellow stone out just played. Torger, the 39-year-old engineer, has 2 daughters. Just trying to chip it across the top, and a good attempt, but that was always the problem.
Yeah, didn't quite remove the yellow. Here you see it, great action from Howard Van Peterson and Christopher SWE. Just couldn't do enough to hold that stone though. And another delicate hit and roll in behind, but finds the gap.
Well, I think these two Yellowstones are too flat really to try any sort of a double takeout. So we'll go for a hit and roll instead.
Yeah, Torger himself, very accomplished skip. Does have a silver medal to his name. Makes a nice hit and check. In behind that long yellow guard.
Yeah, and Torger actually played 100% according to the Curlet stats this morning against Switzerland, the reigning champions. So clearly on form as he comes into this game against the perfect Swedish team this week.
Yeah, both teams playing the delicate taps really well here in the first.
Well, Christopher Singren just lost his microphone there. I don't think I've ever seen anyone burn a stone with a microphone before, but nearly happened. So this is maybe the chance that Norway were looking for, just to tidy this up. Could be a chance for a double takeout. It's clear that they're not wanting to play any too aggressive. So let's just see the microphone starting to shake about and goes towards the stone anyway.
Yeah, by the looks of the two Yellowstones and Thomas Olsrud, I think he might be going for the double takeout. So the 43-year-old. So much experience at European and World Championships.
Perfect shot. Great shot there by Thomas Olsrud. Yeah, Thomas very much had to wait his time, really. Paul Trulson was always the team that got selected to represent Norway, but following the retirement of Paul, in came Thomas, and hasn't he done a good job since? Of course, got the Olympic silver medal in 2010 in Vancouver, the Norwegians. Had a disappointing campaign at the 2014 Olympics in Sochi, finishing up 5th overall.
So it's our first look at Swedish skip Niklas Edin, 29-year-old, full-time curler. Actually, all 8 of these guys are pretty much full-time curlers. Certainly all the Swedish team are.
Well, this is going to be our first look at how quick the ice is with the hog-to-hog timer down on the right-hand side of your screen.
Yeah, 14.5 seconds. That's roughly what we're looking for. Maybe ice just a little bit slower in the first end.
Tar vi sånn inn, så setter jeg den på litt. Tror han kommer opp. Sett der, og så setter den på litt. Alt her er bra. Ja, jeg tror jeg ville tatt mer is. Jeg tror jeg ville tatt mer is og satt den på. Ja. Da er det sikkert litt trått der ute. Ja, men det ordner vi. Det er litt utenfor 12 fot, da. Det er ikke krise å stoppe her, eller?
So a slight mistake from Niklas Edin, so chance maybe to force or steal one for Thomas Olsrud. Both these teams just know each other's game so well.
Yeah, absolutely. These two teams are really good friends as well, so both on and off the ice.
Linja bra. Linja bra. Hold ut derfra. Linja bra. Bare fart nå.
So just trying to keep this one on the high side with the sweep in. And it's beginning to come down the hill now. And finds a good spot on the edge of the 4 foot. So Nicholas, does he try and run something back or play the draw? He's certainly really accurate with the run back.
Well, it's not really the situation you want to find yourself in the first end, that's for sure.
Yeah, the in-turn draw is fairly difficult.
Exakt samma linje borde vara i hål här, va?
Yep.
Well, the problem that Nicholas has here is that the 4 foot is really well covered by these 3 yellow guards. There's no easy path in there. And the question is, do you try and thread one between the 2 yellow stones and risk crashing on one and not getting one in there, or do you try and tap one up, which is probably a more difficult shot? I think they're just trying to thread one between the 2 yellow stones on the left-hand side of the centre line.
Should have a good idea of the line. Played a draw down this side with his first.
That's long. That's long. Very long.
Supers think it's maybe a little bit hot. Terrific draw. Is it good enough?
Maybe just slipped a little bit far.
Well, still a good shot to thread it through there. And just slightly overswept in the end, but still a good bit of damage limitation, and we won't be too worried about that. Only one end played here, and it's Norway 1, Sweden 0. So this was the final shot of the first end, and Nicholas Sedin throwing the draw, the cold draw to the tee line, and just drifts a little bit too far with some assistance from Torgeir Nergård.
Yeah, so second end is underway. It will be Nicholas Sedin with that last stone advantage once again. So Sweden going for the corner guard option.
Yeah, well, one of the great things about these two teams is that they are so aggressive in how they call the game.
They're so confident in their ability as well. That's a key thing as well. No shot really phases them.
Swedes choosing to ignore the stones in the centre line and going around the corner.
Kontroll på botten! Bra fart! Håll in nu. Stopp! Stopp! Gärna curla. Gärna curla. Längre än kvasten, det är 10 line. Kör ändå eller? Ja, behöver dra då. Upp! Bort! Kom igen.
Yeah, so makes it sort of half in behind the corner guard. Not perfectly, but
well, this is a what they call a technical timeout. See the X go up from Thomas Ulsrud there, and that's just to indicate to the timers that they should stop the clocks until we get this technical fault sorted out with the handles on the stones.
That's for Pete Smith.
yeah, so I think they're going to have to wait for an umpire just to make their way to the hog line. I thought they would have had this sorted out just at the end of the first end. Playing it just at a weight so that if they do catch the guard, they would spin down in.
Yeah, and hangs around in the rings as well. Nice shot there by SWE. Might see Sweden go around the corner guard once more. No, maybe not. They want to open things up this time. Oh, nearly carted all three of them out of play. Nice shot there by Christian Lindström.
Yeah, these guys in practices throw them takeouts all day long, running guards in from really anywhere.
Ligger bra. Hold ute där, Ola, hvis du kan. Hold ute där, hvis du kan. Farta grei. Okej. Ligger bra, ligger bra. 5. Vi är lange. 5-6 bara.
Draw from Christopher. Just maybe grabbed something a little there. It just decided to take a turn towards the centre line. But we're going to have a look at Switzerland, Germany, and Alex Baumann playing Yellowstones, looking to draw for 2, it looks like, but that one comes up way short, so they lead 1-0 after the first end.
Hårt. Går att frysa över istället. Håll i. Ja då, okej.
Well, again, Lindström just a little shy with the come around there. Thomas Ulsrud just trying to work out who's lying second shot at the moment as Torgard waits in the hack. But quite a nice chance for Norway to get a stone into a stealing position here. Those 2 stones half checked to the top of the house would be perfect for cover.
Yeah, I've got the timer on this one as well. And gets past it. It's a great scrub by the front end.
Yeah, I just wonder if the ice is just a fraction slower than it has been. That was 14.1 between the hogs. So another look at the sweepers. Having a right good bash at this one. Christopher SWE getting all his body weight over that hairy brush.
Whoa.
This one needs to swing a little bit. Doesn't really do too much. Still got that centre quite dirty and messy, really. So Norway, they do have Peter Moe on the bench.
Yeah, I know the national coach, Paul Trolson, chose not to come to this event. I spoke to his daughter and he said that he thought he would just send Petter to do the job these days. Got so much experience, as we said, between the four of them, as we see the Peja Lindholm again, lots of experience. Yeah, maybe the most experienced of them all, the national coach for Sweden. Three-time world champion Peja Lindholm. Well, you'll see Norway take perhaps a little bit more time over deciding where they're going to position their stones playing against Niklas Edin, because they're really aware of that big weight ability that both Oscar and Niklas possess. You put one slightly wrong position and then all of a sudden you were lying 4 and you're lying 2 against now. It's these things that can happen playing against a Swedish team. So it is a little bit of a contrast of styles, actually, because I mean, if you compare that to Thomas Ulsrud, he's renowned for the kind of the lovely draws and the nice little tap backs, and probably if he has got a weakness, then it's maybe at the big weight. Oh, I'm not too sure if that was the call or not in the end. I saw them tapping at the front of the house, but it's an okay result for the Norwegians.
Yeah, I actually quite like this call from Niklas, driving the yellow and the tight guard. Just catch it a little on the left. Yeah, really need to open that centre up. Things not looking good at the moment.
Yeah, and this big weight ability that I talked about is it's a great aggressive option, but it's also a great defensive option too. That they can play a shot like this and really turn an end on its head. Oh, opens the centre up. And Norway lying 3.
I don't think Sweden will be too concerned though.
Nei, da kan han fryse. Nå holder han litt på svak side, så ikke han dobler med rull. Det som tingen, det sporet var for hammeren som var glatt over der, så her det egentlig centerline. Ja, centerline. Her det glatt. Det masse slipp av. Kjøle. Wow, wow, wow! Hi. Wow! Oh.
Probably just looking for this one tight to the house, Logan.
Yeah, I would think so. It's certainly no further than the top of the 8 foot.
Oh, nei.
Well, I just wonder if the players are just struggling with the speed of the ice at the moment. Not quite the quality of stone positioning that we would expect from these two teams.
Yeah, so second game of the day, remember.
Om vi får träffen så helst vicka lite grann ut mot den vänstra där, men måste ju...
Well, Thomas Ilsrud is the oldest player in the competition. Maybe he's getting tired.
Maybe he is. These guys are relatively fit though. Do spend a lot of time in the gym.
Oh, here comes another rocket from Sweden.
It's a little inside with this one though.
Terrific shot there by Niklas Edin.
You see it just coming down. Catches just on the inside of the nose and rolls across to the other red.
Yeah, you got to have quick feet there to follow one of Niklas Edin's peels, that's for sure. Great work there by Sundgren and Lindström.
Yeah, so just clean picks that one out. And Sweden are going to be forced to try and take their one. I'm not surprised they've not looked to maybe playing the double, but that yellow must be out of the house, that's why they're not going for it.
Yeah, I think they don't want to give Norway a two-shot head start, considering they had the hammer in the first two ends. Final stone of the second end, Niklas Edin. I think psychologically it'll be good for them to get a point on the board as well. To give up 2 steals in the first two ends, then it doesn't look too good. But
yeah, so that one right down onto the button. And the game is all square at 1-1.
yeah, Niklas Edin didn't even have to watch that final draw. He just confidently turned around and went to go and get his water bottle. Trusted his sweepers to put it in the right spot, and they did.
So third end, and Sweden all square with Norway. You're watching live coverage from the Gruyère European Curling Championships 2014. Coming to you live from the Palladium, Champéry, Switzerland. I'm Kenny Edwards. I'm joined by Logan Gray.
Yeah, it was nice to see the Norwegian boys sticking together after last season. There was a lot of discussion that there may be some retirements in the team, but I think getting that 2014 World Championship just gave them the impetus to continue. And they have been together for 8 years, this team. And definitely one of the most liked teams on the tour. It was a big shake-up for the Swedish boys, though. Niklas Edin leaving his entire team to go and join up with Oscar Eriksson's team, and Oscar Eriksson having to actually leave his brother out to bring in Niklas Edin, and Oscar moving down from skip to third, Christian moving down from third to second. So it seems to be working though for the Swedes. Brand new team, but 6-0 here at the Europeans.
Bra spill over!
You see the rotation on the handle there. Quite a lot of rotation on this one.
Yeah, really nice freeze. Just moves that redstone up, and that maybe improves angles slightly for the Norwegians.
Du får en hår høyt, så går alle gule, men kjapp helt greit.
So this is generally how you see world-class curling, is there's some freezes and some tips and some taps, and then someone at some point is just going to bash the centre guard back and try and move things around. And a really nice shot there by Chris Vatt.
Yeah, it bounces the yellows out of play.
Yeah, the Swedish boys aren't the only one with that big weight ability. Christopher Sva, deadly with those peels.
Still got one centre guard in play though, so they're trying to get around it. We're going to take a look at Switzerland, Germany. Sven Mikkel being forced to draw for one. Playing against two German counters. Last year's European champion. Makes it quite convincingly, and that game all tied at 1-1. So lots going on here in the game between Norway and Sweden.
Yeah, and you wouldn't be surprised to see this, the final as well. So a more delicate shot required here for Chris Vatt. Making a freeze on the inside of this yellow. Even if they could just tap it out a little bit, would be a good shot. Oh, really nice shot there. Just moves the angles around and starts to turn them in Norway's favour.
Kom ned.
Well, Niklas has called Oscar Eriksson down the ice to have a closer look at this.
Bara klonka ner en köp. Om man touchar här. Sitter nog den, va? Ja, om man kan få spinna av den så också. Kan du få en mitt i klykan där eller en touch på den så borde det vara bra chans. Spinna av den i alla fall. Känns som det enda vi kan spela, va? Ja.
So we could still end up with a blank out of this end.
Spela in den och få en dubbel.
Yeah, the angles are pretty bad for Sweden right now. You see the angles on the red onto the yellows, they're all kind of pointing the yellow away from the middle of the sheet. So
precis touchen där. Det är nära, men tredjedel är optimalt. Ja.
This one's not going to be hanging around, that's for sure.
Yep. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Yep. Whoa.
So sprays two of the reds out, rolls the shooter himself.
Yeah, lovely shot there. So it's Norway's turn this time to try and tidy things up. Sweden finding a way to lie two here.
As he managed to make the double, he's got rid of one of them. And squeezed the yellow out for second shot.
Yeah, the standard is rising here. Some terrific play in this third end.
You see it, just catching the yellow half stone, just doing enough to push it out into the open.
Kan skjuta och försöka vicka gard på våran. Inget lätt slag. Inget slag är lätt nu så. Det är högst upp så du har en dubbel antagligen. Om vi fryser ner den. Sätt den här.
So what can Oscar Eriksson do? Can he make the run back? Oh, great shot by Oscar.
Yeah, these guys have come to play today, and I think you're right, Kenny, we might end up with a blank end out of this in the end.
Yeah, and both these teams so accurate playing the takeouts.
Well, perfect hit and roll now from Nergard.
Yeah, we really are getting to see some world-class colouring here.
So Niklas is going to go after that one, and let's just take another look at the second end here. Niklas Edin drawing for one, throws it, reckons job done. The stone's only halfway down the ice. Okay, let's go for a drink.
Yeah, these guys are so confident.
Yeah, and where is it? On the pin. Yeah, well, rightly so. They put in so many hours on the training sheet, so they can do that without even thinking about it.
So looking to try and draw in behind. Well, just over curls.
Yeah, not so good that time from Niklas. A bit short of pace and over curls into the guard. So Norway are going to split the rings here. They've got the last stone. And I think their reckoning is that if they split the rings, then Niklas will hit the open one, and then they'll have straightforward shot to score 2.
T-line! T-line som gjelder! Se opp! Det glir godt!
So where's this one going to end up? Right on the tee line, no double there. And
well, decision time here for Niklas. Do you go around and either try and lie shot or make a freeze on the shot stone in order to make Thomas Hulsrud play a more difficult last stone, or do you go safe and hit the wide one?
I think you've got to play the scoreboard early on in the game here and just pick the wide one.
Well, this is an interesting call. Niklas Edin going for the button, and maybe this is the kind of call that you can make when you're 6-0, Kenny.
Yeah, just round about the centre guard.
Is this the kind of call that makes the sweepers nervous, Kenny?
I think so, yes. I think it would make the spectators nervous as well. So
well, it's nice to see a call that's maybe slightly out of the ordinary. I think you would see a lot of teams hit the wide one. This is just a much more aggressive call.
yeah, you slip a little high with it, a little deep with this one, you could give up 3.
They're going to have to go hard for line to get it past the guard. He's got a perfect line. How's the weight? Oh, it's a really nice shot there by Niklas Edin, but just again travels half a stone too far. But he has given Thomas Hulsrud a more difficult shot than he would have if he had hit the wide one. And realistically, Norway will only be able to score 2 here.
Yeah, it's just it's done enough to make it awkward.
Yeah, I think the main problem there was that they had to sweep for line, and of course when you're sweeping, you're making the stone go further as well, so maybe just a little bit more ice required on that. And they would have got a perfect draw.
Yeah, so final stone of the third end.
Linja bra. Der deres. Vi er ikke i rygg. Rent sval! Vi er ikke i rygg. Rent sval! Vi er ikke i rygg.
This one looks a little heavy.
Can it get to the backing or not?
Needed the backing though. And it is a score of 2. And Norway now lead 3-1 after 3 ends.
Underway in the fourth end. Norway making a very nice deuce in the third to take a 3-1 advantage over Sweden. And Håvard Ford Pedersen just looking for something in around the top of the 4 foot here.
Yeah, that's pretty good there. Håvard really is world class. Throwing that one towards the corner. Sweden going to try and look to score 2. Have struggled so far in this game to really create anything. Howard Van Petersen, 87% for the tournament. Just be looking for this one right in on top. This one pulls up a little short, but they'll be happy with that. Christopher Sundgren, 86%. Both leads playing at the top of the game. That's a great call. Spins the yellow down in behind the corner guard. Over on sheet D, Switzerland, Germany, all square. And Alex Baumann trying to move things around, coming in off a corner, but just can't get down into the 1 foot. So it will be a steal of 1 to Switzerland.
For dobbelen? For dobbelen? Ikke langt unna for dobbelen, for å si sånn.
So, back to the feature game between Norway and Sweden. Christian Lundström, 88%. Sweden trying to get something going around behind this corner guard. If you're Sweden, you're going to be pretty happy with the way things are set up here in the fourth.
What?
Christopher SWE, 82%. And makes the hit on the yellow. It's been interesting to see if Nicholas Adin makes a play on this middle one, but I think he's quite rightly going round the corner again.
Linjen är bra. Inte mycket skillnad i släpp. Det är ganska lång. Ja, linje. Ni har den, ni har den. Ni har den. Bara grepp. Vart är den i fart? T-line. Är den lång så tar den strax bakom här. Bara strax bakom, så den här vinkeln är svårstyckad. Ah, sorry. Det är nog dåligt av mig. Det är bra.
That one slipping to the back 8.
Halvtreff dødstikkeren! Den der, da? Nei. Halvtreff dødstikkeren! Spill med litt fart for å få den hit, kanskje?
Normally not liking that yellow stone at the back of the 8 foot, so they're just going to play the run on the red.
Vanlig! Solid vanlig! Får ikke blitt for tynn!
Spill 11, da. 11.
Ja. Trenden er greit.
So they're relatively close together.
Ja. Wow, wow. Ja, ja, hard! 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 Hard!
And hits it on the high side. Does retain one of the reds in the house though.
Okay, so again, Nicholas Adine choosing to go aggressive and go around the corner.
Oscar Eriksson, 88% though. It's high shooting for a third player.
Yeah, and across 6 games as well.
Yeah, it's pretty phenomenal. And the difficulty of some of the shots he's been playing are right up there.
Og fryse. Ser du i hvert fall samme som jeg gjorde. Ja, hvis du fryser, så ødelegger vi, da blir vi bedre enn det greiene å slå på foran.
Samme som Sva!
Ok.
Køller opp! Så Sva sin er litt røpere også, ja. Den tror jeg. Ja, det er toeren som er røpere. Var det treeren som spilte her?
Hack, eller?
So Torgen Ergaard's tournament accuracies
Ja, vi skal helt opp den nesa her.
a little lower at 82.
Still quite a respectable stat for a third player at this level. 88% from Oscar Eriksson's just obscene. Well, they're going after this stone just played by Oscar.
Makes the nose hit.
Working the magic.
So
Vi som sitter skottet, Niklas.
I think again they'll just try and get around and maybe play a freeze on this back red.
Linjen är bra. Limma dit den. Precis frys. Mitt på T-line. Precis frys. Mitt på T-line. Linjen är grym. Linjen är perfekt. Limma dit den. Några center kort är okej. Lägg den bra. Kom igen, ända ner nu.
And great shot by Oscar.
I think this is the way it's going to be in this game, back and forth, and maybe just an inch between them. Badly judged sweeping. Difficult to make a perfect freeze.
Yeah.
It is the hardest shot in curling.
Ja, det er ganske glatt på han, altså. 14,5. Hæ?
Ja, det er 15, det er glatt her.
Det er glatt der, men samtidig må vi holde den litt i gang, holde den ute her. Jeg er redd for at vi køler for mye gjennom å holde vinkelen. Ok, det er såpass glatt. Men da har du mer is enn han. Snepper mer. Da kan du være helt annet.
Yeah, so Norway been forced to
Han kommer alltid an, da.
go after that yellow.
Ok. Så det er omtrent som på hammer, dette her, da.
Ja, i hvert fall.
Thomas Olsrud, 86%. So all these guys in the top sort of 2 or 3 players of the tournament.
Ja, på linje! Hard! Hard på linje, helt ned! Ja! Hard!
And nice shot by Thomas. Errors on the correct side makes it really difficult for Sweden to do anything with that yellow stone. I'm not really sure what the call is with this one.
Another good look at the sweeping action of Pedersen and SWE. And they really needed to come down and tap that yellow stone to free off the red, and leaves a beautiful angle. Really not an easy shot, that one, coming around the corner guard to make a really good freeze and leave yourself lying shot stone as well. Norway lying too.
Yeah, 86 for Nicholas. Head and shoulders above anybody else in the stats this week. And there's a big mistake though. Catches the corner guard and rolls out of play.
Det gjør I hvert fall ikke det. Det noe for 2?
Nei. Det ligger 2, ja. Noe for 2 som starter. Har noen skytegreier kanskje her, hvis du ser søkt på det. Sånn
Det letteste slaget hans for å score den. Det her sånn kan få lov å lette.
Han slår her, sånn at den går... Ja, den går på oversiden. Jeg tenker, han har tynn der da. Han vinklet feil vei også da.
So the team's just having a bit of a chat here. And I just see Howard van Petersen making his way from the opposite end. And I'm sure he'll come down and just, yep, as we see all the time, he comes down, places his brush exactly where you should put it.
Yeah, a very charismatic team, these Norwegians. So just a guard, really. And then Niklas Edin is going to have some trouble on his hands getting a shot in there, an end that looked so much Sweden's after third stones.
Okay. Head it.
Hard fast!
Head it.
Hard! Hard fast! Hard in it!
Kom igjen. Riktig, langt telefon. Kom igjen. Hard.
Yeah, covers the shot, but would have liked it a little further up.
Well, again, Niklas not really leaving himself any great options to get in there for a score.
Kvarting. Tunn tredjedel.
Yeah, I think he's. I think his thinking here is open the centre up a little bit, so he's maybe got a shot with his last.
Splitten går inte, va? Jag tror inte. Kommer nästan köla iväg ditåt.
Well, he's certainly not got any easy options to score with this last stone.
Väldigt tunn är den. Tunn fjärdedel. Känns tunnare än det, men 50-del.
I don't really see how he's going to get shot out of this unless you get a little bit lucky.
Well, you know, even if you just pick that red out of there, I mean, I don't see an easy shot to score. So even if you just pick that red out of there, you only score one, and maybe if he gets really lucky, you might be able to get a score on the board. I also think that when you're 6-0, you can have a little bit of fun and try some new things. How does it look? Some attempt there by Niklas Hedin, and actually a fraction thicker, and they maybe could have scored two.
Yeah, so it was a steal for Norway. They now lead 4-1 after 4 ends. So there's the score, Norway leading 4-1 as they enter the 5th end. Norway having the better of the early exchanges here. Sweden just not getting their stone positions quite right, maybe in the middle order. Niklas Hedin really not being left with much.
Køler litt over. Ja, køler over. Akkurat for avstand. Kontroll er greit. Ikke ved siden av, ikke ved siden av. Robert. Litt dårlig stopp. Litt dårlig. 12-9.
So a long way to go in this game yet, though. I think Sweden will be looking to get to that 5th end break. As once again we take a look on sheet D, Switzerland leading 2-1 over Alex Baumann and his German team. They're trying to pick up at least 2 points to take the lead. This one perfectly played, and it would be a score of 2, and 3-2 after 4 ends. So
well, again, Nicholas Dean just trying to get some action around this corner guard. I think he can expect the Norwegians to make their shots quite as well as they did in the last end to get themselves out of trouble. Just need to be patient and keep trying to force the issue, and you're bound to get a mistake at some point.
yeah, just moving things around. So Torgen Ergaard just going to hit the open yellow. So over on sheet A, E.G. Schnittl still in with a chance of making the playoffs. He has an open draw to the 12th foot for his 2 and a 4-1 lead into the break.
Yeah, it's been a pretty miserable week though for Denmark. Only managing to pick up their first win this morning after losing their first 5 games. Still managing to relive the success of 4 years ago in Champéry when they came to their first Europeans and made it all the way to the final. So a well-made draw there by Yiji, and puts 2 on the board for Czech Republic and 4-1 there. And of course, who did Rasmus and Denmark lose to in the final in Champéry 4 years ago? That guy. Thomas Ulsrud won his first European Championships in 2010 here in Le Palladium.
And this one from Torga just comes down onto the nose. Take a look at that one again. This one just comes down onto the nose. But I'd like to get a little bit of a roll. Sweden can now just nudge these back and create a nice little pocket. Sweepers onto this one right away. And Oscar Eriksson nowhere near with this one.
Well, a very uncharacteristic miss from Oscar there. Just not even close, really.
Yeah, things just not going Sweden's way. So they'll probably just look for this one on the centre line, even biting the 12 foot. So into the skip stones of the fifth end. So Norway setting 5. Sweden really up against it.
Yeah, the Norwegians just look like they're enjoying themselves out there, and when you're having fun, quite often that translates into making lots and lots of shots.
Om bara vi träffar ettan precis före i alla fall så. Ja. Borde vara nära.
So looks like as Nicholas makes his way, but that's how the teams are at the moment going into this game. Sweden up there on 6-0. Norway 4-2. A whole gaggle of teams on 3 wins and 3 defeats. So Nicholas trying the in-turn, in-off. And does move some granite around.
Det er ikke noe stort hull, bare. Hæ? Det er ikke noe stort hull.
Ja, opp til nesa, da.
Det er ikke krise å jamme her, eller da sitter vi 3.
Jeg liker å slå.
Yellow is tucked in behind the centre guard.
Så du skal spille bare hack, Thomas?
Don't think Norway will have much difficulty removing it though.
Er ikke gammel vant på hvis ballen skulle gå via den bak, eller noe sånt? Hæ?
Er det for lett splitt hvis vi garder her, da? Ja. Der er det giftigste, da. Kjapp eller hår høyt? Hår høyt!
Kjapp er bra, det også. 50% også bra.
Kan rulle en stein mot svå, er ganske nice. Det er heller kjapp enn skytball sitter akkurat, tror jeg, dessverre. Ok, hack da.
So just looking to push the yellow through. And Torga just saying he was a little wide. Waiting for this one to come down. And holds the shooter on a great spot to make it hard for Nicholas to draw in.
Den hang lenge, altså.
So final stone of the fifth end for Nicholas Edin, looking for the forefoot. And the sweeper's a little concerned with this. Needs to curl really hard.
I think it just looked like it sat in a little bit now, and it's going to drift down into the forefoot.
Yeah, it will be a score of 1. as they go into the break. Sweden trail 4-2 to Norway.
5 yellow.
And the team's just going for 5th lane break. And it's going to be Norway who's going to be the happier of the two.
Inte dåligt för gamla amatörer.
First end, Nicholas Sedin trying to draw with his final stone. This one, with a little bit of persuasion from Torgen Ergaard, slipped a little bit too far, and it was a steal of 1 for Norway. Third end, Thomas Olsrud with a chance to pick up the deuce. In turn draw. This one come down back onto the back yellow, and they took the lead. Fourth end, Nicholas Sedin sitting 2 against. Going for the circus shot, and just missed it. And it was a steal of 1. But at the break, it's Norway 4, Sweden 2. Italy, Latvia on sheet E. And there we see Gulbis, the Latvian skip, attempting a takeout round the centre guard. And just put a little bit much on that one, and it was a steal of 3 and a 6-0 lead for the Italians. Elsewhere though, Czech Republic 4-1 up on Denmark, Russia 2-1 up on Scotland, and Germany 3-2 ahead of Switzerland. So Norway fairly happy with the first 5 ends. Sander Rolvag, the alternate.
Farmer's soft brownie. Excellent choice,
Not great body language from Team Sweden.
Yeah, I think they know they're up against it today. The Norwegian boys have really upped the ante and playing some super stuff in the first half of this 7th round matchup.
Yeah, there's the stats. 84% to 76.
Yeah, but look at that draw stat, 94% for draws for the Norwegians. That is a fantastic stat. And a testament to the ice conditions as well, must be said. We're getting quite far on in the week, and clearly the ice conditions are good. If they weren't that way, then Norway would not be able to be so accurate with these draw shots.
So 4-2 Norway lead.
Gärna linje. Ta den höga istället då.
Kör upp på lina. Yes.
Sweden going for the long guard. Norway going to possibly play the hack weight chip on the centre guard, but now electing to go to the corner.
Yeah, and Håvard van Pedersen playing 98% so far in this game. Great shooting by big blonde Norwegian. Interestingly, Håvard is blind in his right eye after being attacked by a reindeer once upon a time when he was a kid.
Yeah, it's quite surprising how he is so accurate, only having vision in one eye. So great setup play from Christopher Sundgren. 2 long guards on. Thomas Olsrud thinking he needs to get something into the forefoot now.
Kör så, kör. Jo, lite till. Bra.
Bra spill over.
Christian Lundström playing 78% for the game.
Fint, mycket bra. Lätt. Så du. Vet du vad kallt det är nu?
Bara bild på toppen. Han fryser uansett.
Oversida også greit. Hvilken hånd dere?
Well, you can see that Sweden are really going hard for the steal here, even in the 6th end, trailing by 2. Christopher Sva playing 70%. And a great attempt at the double peel. Those stones were absolutely dead straight.
Ganska mycket tryck va?
Ganska mjukt släpp.
Har du fred?
4.
Perfekt linje, limma dit den. Japp! Hårt! Eller bra! Hårt! Nuttar! Hårt! Järnet! Hårt!
Needs to get past the stone at the top of the 8 foot.
Great scrub from the Swedish guys. Take that one right down.
Yeah, Nicholas had to roar the house down to get that one by. Here we have another look at it. Easily passes the long guard, but as this one just sneaks by a paper width. And here comes another heater from Sva. Like a bit of a set, that one. Just put it back and you see it backing off the line a little.
Yeah, just trying to tidy things up. Plenty of pace in that one from Christopher SWE.
Viktigt att vi får upp en bra linje. Samma höger också. Kolla linjen här. Ja. Ja, 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 ja. Hårt! Varsågod.
So Sweden managed to manufacture quite a nice position here in this sixth end. Torgen Ergaard 85 in this game. Quite good shooting from a third.
Well, that yellow is nicely frozen on, but it's starting to look a little bit lonely in there. A couple of red stones starting to creep up around the 12-foot circle. Oscar Eriksson playing 75%, a little bit below his week average of 88.
Nice setup though. Got that yellow right on top of the red in the 4-foot.
Du ikke bare fryse? Fryse?
Jo, men jeg vil gjerne luse den litt. Det køler opp, det er ikke noe problem. Nier da! Nier! Kom igjen da! Nier!
So, I think Norway electing to play the draw this time, thinking they can get down into the 1-foot first.
Well, this is a must-make shot. You don't want to be heavy and wide and leave Sweden a chance to come around again. And that's what it is. Sweden lying at one and a chance to get another one in behind that double centre, and Norwegians could be in some trouble in a minute.
Yeah, that just bounced off. Nice pocket now.
Well, Nicholas Dean just going to prepare for that one, and here's the Russians up against Scotland, currently leading by 2 shots to 1 with the last stone. And here's Evgeny Arkhipov with a takeout for 4 after a horrible mistake by David Edwards with his last stone. And a big sweep here from John Penny just to get it out of the rings. And only 3 for Russia, but a 5-1 lead after 6 ends, and Scotland with a lot of work to do. Well, you know, one of the things I like about the Swedish team right now is that, okay, fair enough, they're trailing Norway by 2 shots and they've not got the hammer, but there seems to be still a calm confidence about them, very patient, and even a couple of smiles too.
Yeah, they were certainly struggling in the first 5 ends. They were the team needing the break.
Ikke tynn som mulig, Thomas. Halvtreff.
Well, Thomas Ilsrud with some work to do here. He's going to try and come off his own red just next to Torger's feet there and run into the yellow stones in the forefoot. Tough shot here.
Yeah, looking to catch around 2/3 maybe.
Playing 85% for the game, Thomas.
Yep. Yeah. Whoa. 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 Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. 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 Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Oh, great shot. I wondered if he had needed to come off the back one. That's just a great shot by Thomas Ilsrud. And Nicholas Edin looking at returning the favour here. Let's take another look at this one. Hits it just like in a thick half. Bounces off the back one and moves the yellow up away from the tee line to lie one.
Yeah, that's a world-class shot from the world champion.
Ja, det var det jag tänkte. Den är ju precis, bara lite minus på den. Det där slaget är ju svårt, jag sätter inte allt för många. Det där eller fridra här. Den känns ju svår. Gul behöver jag inte, bara nudda, men... Det kan ju lägga upp sig dåligt, men den höga garden är inte i vägen. Nej. Går du den då hade du... Det är det som är frågan. Ja? Frågan om vi kan lägga 2 på
Certainly still a good chance for Sweden to steal if they could just move that number 4 Yellowstone up half a foot, half a stone, and get in there to lie short. And it'd be very difficult to see how Ilsrud could remove it with his last.
Yeah, I don't want to leave him the same shot again though.
Men rullar vi lite neråt så får han ju frys eller ryggen här. Dock inte den jättelätt heller. Nej, vad du känner för. Den här har vi nog större chans att skära ett på. Ja, här kör.
So just electing to come down and tap maybe the yellow back a couple of inches.
Tryck den en halv sten, eller en sten. Kan nog bara ligga en på innoffen.
Yeah, I think they'll just be looking for a kind of a back 4 weight. It's quite easy to move that yellow stone. It's just not that easy to get your shooter in a good position as well. So really needs to get right to the nose on this one.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to leave an angle. So Thomas Ilsrud could play the double. Nicholas only 64%. The difficulty has been pretty high for Nicholas though.
Oh, he's looking pretty good here. The line's good, the weight's good. Oh, fantastic shot. And might need 2 in-off takeouts and 1 in just to get a point on the board here.
Men jeg lurer på om du skal spille inn altså. Ja, men se på garden.
Det ganske hardt, Thomas.
Ja, jeg vet det.
Ser nok til ball.
Tror du nesten er størst sjanse for å komme ned på egen, på 1.
It's a bit flatter the roll in this one.
Yeah, I think he may even need a little bit more weight than his last one.
Nei, vi kan ikke, nei.
2/3 eller?
Ja, så tjukt du klarer nesten. Jeg tror det blir litt tynt. 80.
Ja, sier du alt. Må fyre av litt. Gå litt inn i den her.
Oh, wouldn't this be something if you could make 2 in a row? Well, definitely looked a little bit heavier than the last one.
Just not getting the action on it though. And that will be a steal of 1 to Sweden. They only trail by 1 now. Score 4-3 in Norway's favour. So here we see Nicholas Sedin just looking to tap the yellow up just a couple of inches. Great scrub from the front end. Just push this one onto the button. And that was enough to steal the single point.
We're really being treated to heaps of made shots, big shots too, difficult shots with lots of stones in play. A fantastic game. And still 4 more ends to enjoy potentially.
Yeah, Sweden are trying to make a game of it.
Well, Sweden trying for the double centre guard here, and probably with a slightly different idea in mind. Last end, I think they were really pushing hard for the steal, whereas this one may not push quite so hard. They'll be content to force the one. They'd certainly take a steal if it came along, though.
Yeah, them two yellow guards are pretty close together, though. And that's a great shot from Hubbard Van Pearson. Both these teams spent quite a lot of time out in Canada already this year. Playing a couple of spiels out there. So they've probably played the most games coming into this tournament of all the teams that are here, both these sides.
Well, certainly the Swedish boys, they've had a pretty hectic season. The Norwegians, I think they're playing a slightly more relaxed schedule than usual. It's not to say they're not playing a lot of competitions, but maybe not playing as much as they have done in previous years, certainly in the run-up to the Olympics.
So manages to remove 2 of the yellows off. As we take a look to sheet B, Scotland trailing Russia 5-1. Scotland skip Dave Edwards with a draw to the 8-foot for 2. looks relatively happy with this one.
Is that what a happy face looks like in the Edwards family, Kenny?
I think so.
Yeah, he looks absolutely thrilled, Kenny.
Yeah, I don't think he's having a great day at the office.
Vanlig ned. Bare vanlig. Ned. Wow. Vanlig. Opp. Opp. Prøv å rime deg bak, da. Ja.
This one from Chris, sitting a little high at the moment. It does enough to push the yellow out of play though.
Prøv å gjøre kjapt unna, Torgeir. Sitt klar.
And Nicholas, I think, will just be trying to tap this red back, the back of the forefoot, to try and give them some backing later on in the end.
Bak fyra, bak åtta. Bak fyra. Bak fyra. Bak åtta. Bak åtta. Bak fyra. Bak fyra. Bak fyra.
Yeah, nice shot there. Starting to move some stones to the back of the tee line to make some freezes.
Still, Norway should be able to pick this yellow cleanly. Does enough, takes it through the port.
So trying again for the freeze here.
Yeah, but this time the red stone's back of tee.
Bra linje, limma dit der. På locket. Limma dit der. Wow, den där. Mycket bra.
Oh, another super freeze from Oscar Eriksson. And that one's not going to be easy to remove.
Klin til! Tror du får den hit? Ikke mye plass. Ordentlig, gå litt inn.
So, Torger's pretty much just been asked to absolutely launch this one.
Yeah, the stones do react quite well, so should be able to move them. See, spraying that one out of the 8 foot.
Well, that was a terrific shot just to get that stone out and leave Norway lying in shot position.
Jeg trodde vi skulle ha sjans da. Vanligvis ville vi flydd.
So Nicholas really just giving it the kitchen sink now. Out turn draw, right around the 2 red stones on the centre line.
And this one being worked all the way.
Oh, another super draw. Doesn't maybe quite get it as tucked in as they would like, and Tom Solskjaer will be able to go after that yellow.
Så tapper den ut. Sikkert 2. Ikke høyre nå.
Well, Thomas Ilsford is one of the best in the business at these shots. Just hack weight, coming around guards and tapping them through.
Has he done enough to get past though?
I don't think so. Not even these sweepers can get them past, and he's pushed another yellow into the house here. Norway still lying second shot. Maybe not for long though.
Yeah, I think they'll just try and push this one through and force Thomas Olsrud to play against 4 yellow stones.
Yeah, so the old guard and the new guard. Pia Lindholm really passing the torch on to Niklas Edin. Probably about 6 or 7 years ago now, that must have happened.
Yeah, the first time we've seen Nicholas on the big stage was really in Aberdeen, 2009. And just chips that red.
Well, who's lying second?
And has spun back in for second, but looks like there's a nice half-stone double, maybe.
Nå spiller jeg. Gutter, vi har ikke tid til det. Vi kan doble da, hvis det ikke er...
Det er kjapp uansett.
Vi dobler? Ja. Det er halv bare. Kanskje tynnere enn det, da?
Skal vi slå uansett?
Ja, nå spørs om man skulle doble, da.
Ja, synes du det er lurt nå?
Jeg tror det er vår. Da.
Jeg tror også det er vår.
Den gule er 2'eren.
Ja?
Ja, nå er det.
Ja, hvis du her kommer fort bli... 40!
Hvorfor tar vi ikke bare 1?
Jeg synes du skal ta igjen, da.
Yeah, so looking for around half stone, I think.
Nei.
Maybe a little bit thinner.
Er det ikke ganske tynn for 2 da?
Tynn halv. Jo, da.
Mener du det?
Ja, ok.
So final stone of the 7th for Thomas Olsrud, looking for a double.
Yeah, throwing at a reasonably controlled weight here. Oh, and this is just took a bit of a dive on him. But still, a safe one for the Norwegians. Just having a quick double check around the edge of the 8-foot circle. And after 7 ends, Norway still leading by 5 shots to 3.
Men farten så er risk for ulovlig. Hæ? Men farten så er nesten risk for ulovlig. Ja, men jeg tenkte nesten at det var greit.
So that's some of the younger fans in, watching the curling this afternoon.
A relative of yours, Kenny?
It is.
Well, again, we've seen quite a lot of this. Every time Sweden have had the hammer, it's been top 4 and then corner guards from Sweden. And they've not managed to convert it into multiple points with the hammer at any stage so far in this game. They could do with finding one quickly. Only 3 ends to come here.
Yeah, so you're watching coverage of the feature game here between Norway and Sweden in the 7th draw of the Gruyère European Curling Championships 2014 from the Palladium, Champéry, Switzerland.
Ja, forbi da! Forbi da! Nei, nei,
Det er for sent.
Ok.
Blir den bedre, eller den andre?
Info. 20. Mellan. Bak emellan. Den där linjen. Perfekt i linjen. Och bara sitta. Bra Liv, bara sitta. Bra. Mycket bra.
So there you see the stats for the leads.
Some fairly decent play.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And that's what's gave us some entertaining curling. Just lots of stones around.
Jag är väldigt ofta att de var överhåll.
Jag gillar det. Eller en till. Någonstans. Ja, en till kan jag tycka. Ganska lätt.
So I'm sure Nicholas will push quite hard here for his 2. That's why he's throwing the corner on both sides.
Yeah, I think he'll be willing to put the game on the line right here. I think he knows that if they want to have any real chance of winning this game, probably need to put a double on the board here. Christian Lindstrom just slightly outplaying Christopher Svat. A nice double there from the Norwegian second. 79 plays 75 at second position.
Ja, jag är på. Visst. Eller vill ni gå ner och täppa? Vi behöver bara 2. Täpper är bra. Ja, täppa upp dem där, det blir bra det. Bak 8. Kan vi få in den bakom cornern? Ja, det behöver vara mycket fart då. Okej, gör det som du sa. Bak 8. Leta utsidan, dela upp dem där.
Yeah, so I think we'll see Sweden try and move these reds this time.
Håller med! Ren! Ja! Ren! Ja! Wow, wow, wow! Håller med! Ren! Ren! Ligger bra! Ligger bra!
Well, the useful stone for Sweden at the moment is the one that's back at the tee line and behind the corner guard, just at the bottom of your picture now.
That's exactly why Niklas Ledin is going round after that one.
And Oscar Eriksson's made some terrific draws in this game.
bra. Ingen för fart. Ingen för fart. Se lång ut. Trilla om någon. Bara tid. Japp.
Well, it's another beauty from Oscar.
Hård luft!
Yeah, it really forces Norway to play the run back here.
Oh, makes it right on the nose.
Yeah, perfect shooting there by Torger Nørgaard. Kenny, do you think the ice conditions are changing at all at the moment?
It certainly looks that way. Across the Palladium, there's a couple of teams brought out the hair broom, so it's maybe getting a little bit frosty out there.
Torger Nørgaard just sneaking it on Oscar Eriksson, 85 to 82. You can kind of see what you mean, Kenny, just a lot of whiter areas popping up around the sheets.
Yeah, it's a little bit tracky maybe out there. And another great shot. Corner freezing that red. Couldn't come down and place it any better than that.
Yep, couldn't do any better from the near hack.
So, Thomas Olsrud looks like he's nominated the drive back in the guards.
Well, not quite. And did that change anything in the house? I'm not sure. Well, Thomas Olsrud playing 71 against Niklas Edin 64. Not too sure about that. I think that it's been a pretty high standard game. Olsrud 54% for hits.
I think that's maybe a little bit harsh. His takeout play, some of the difficulties he's had has been right up there. The great hit and roll in earlier in the game.
Sätter jag vilken perfekt så är det bara fan att trippa den ändå. Så sätter vi den vilken kommer han bläsa. Ja, det är lätt om jag sätter den, känns det som. Sätter vilken kommer han bläsa. Ja, spela den du känner för. 7 så. 7 och det bara se till att få någonting utsida så kan han inte dubbla oavsett. Ja, det kan så. 2/3 tjockan.
Maybe looking at the double.
Känns som allting utåt, sätta vilken är mjuk och så är det svårt på den här isen. Tjappa den kingen dubbelt tillbaka. Spelar en 7 med stöd utåt där. Allting lite utsida blir bra. Ja.
Well, I think they'll certainly want to lie two after this one.
It's a little bit narrow away with this one. Called the swooping on right away. And that's not where he wanted to put that one.
Well, it's still difficult to remove that Yellowstone frozen there by Oscar Eriksson.
He should be able to play the pocket and squeeze the yellow into the 12 foot and sit two.
A pocket rocket.
Får du ikke spunnet den dårligere enn... Nei. Ja, kanskje. Du treffer syklingen på den først, så får du spunnet den opp hit. Dårligere enn den, og ut av den.
Yeah, well, that's certainly what they're looking at, Kenny, is whether they can try and make this double, and They don't actually have to remove that number 6 yellow stone from the house. They just have to get it out of the 8-foot circle to lie 2, and that would force Sweden to only score 1.
Trenger litt fart. Ja. Få det.
Yeah, so Thomas Oldred just looking to hit the one on the centre line first.
Ja. Ja. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
This one isn't hanging around.
Well, I think he just hit the wrong one first there. Just touched the left-hand yellow before the right-hand one. Really needed to get the stone going the other way. A closer look here. Should just see it touch the left-hand one first. And that's what stops the yellow stone leaving the 8-foot. So it will be a take out to score 2 here.
And it makes it nicely. And we have a tied game after 8 ends. A 2 from Sweden. Means the scoreline is 5-5. So Nicholas Sedin just playing the out-turn takeout for 2 here in the 8th end. Makes it and ties the game at 5 each.
Håll igång lite. Lite riska överkast. Eller kör han i början.
Helt upp.
Det blir bra.
Ja, bra. Ja. Trang linje.
Ja, linja bra. Det är inte trang.
So Haverman Peterson
Håll igång. Se har du.
for Norway.
Se inte lös ut.
Trying to come around this tight guard.
Nej, nej, nej.
Yeah, it makes easy work of it as usual. Perfectly in behind the guard. And keeping it nice and high in the house as well to keep the scoring area big for Norway. Nicholas Sedin just returning from a quick refreshment break. Well, Sweden have really done a good job of getting back into this game. Norway were making everything in the first half and they've persevered and got themselves right back into this tied game after 8 ends.
Yeah, that's the strength of both these sides. They're hard to beat. They're never out of a game. You've really got to work for the full 10 ends to pick up a win. Just trying to get an edge of this red.
Well, still leaves it in a useful position. However, I think we'll see Norway split the rings here to lie 2.
Yeah, Switzerland, Germany. Four, 4. And Sven Mikkel trying to remove the yellow from the button, hits and stays in play, so they would pick up 2, 6-4 after 8 ends on sheet D.
Yeah, and back in our featured sheet, Håvard with his second stone just going a little bit too wide to lie 2, but still that red stone will be in a useful position later on. You would expect Sweden to make a play on the yellow in the front ring anyway.
Bra linje. Mellan. Känns klart över. Bra linje. Bara över.
So sweepers going hard on this. And as we said, the ice conditions just getting a little bit frosty now. That one just sneaked over the hog line. And Norway just electing to peel the long guard.
Well, same again here for Christian Lindstrom. Just trying to run Norway down for a few stones here. Put up the guard and Norway will almost certainly peel them back off. Means that when Sweden actually go to make their move in the house, then Norway have less stones to sort the problem out.
Yeah, a little bit closer with this one. Well, maybe I like to try and get rid of 2 of them.
Well, if anyone's got the firepower to do it, it's this guy. The power, but not the accuracy on this occasion.
Jag tror jag sackar med in mot mitten. 5 ungefär.
Okay.
So Sweden electing to call the timing now.
Yeah, well, I'm not too sure it'll be specifically about this shot, the timeout call here. I think it's about a general strategy for the end, and they're setting things up as they would have wanted.
Yeah, Perlin home, making the long walk down. Certainly not rushing, let's say.
Vi har ju fortfarande läge på stjäla, så det är inte katastrof på rundan, men den är svår. Alltså, man måste verkligen gå för den, och kan den bli lite lång då hamnar bak 12, då är den ju helt värdelös. Det är matchen nästan där.
Om du sa om vi rundar
ändå, ja, om man rundar, alltså om man måste gå för den och kommer lite för
Well,
långt.
the great man hasn't arrived yet anyway.
De kommer slå garden, det är bara de garanterat kommer göra.
He's just making his way to the players now.
Sätter man det här slaget och vickar upp på kanten, då ligger det bra. En helgömd.
Han skjuter garden ner mot den och på kanten.
Instinkten var väl att man behövde stjäla, vi har ju jagat hela matchen, men Jag funderar på om det är lite överilat när man ska spela ner den där taken och bara försöka gå på forcet. Som att det inte är något bra läge. Stjälas, det är svår dragning att komma runt där. Det är klart man kan dra bak 4, men blir den lite lång då är matchen borta mer eller mindre. De kommer ju klippa garden, vad vi gör kommer de klippa garden.
Slå ner våran toppsten ner på den och rulla ut på kanten, ligga 2.
Ja. Man kan ju rulla bättre än den stenen, så gör vi det slaget bra så ligger vi ju grymt. Men det är ju klart man kan missa.
Ja, båda de situationerna är bra. Det är bara nolla eller... Alltså, nolla är ju inte ren och skär katastrof. För på den här isen är det inte toklätt att träffa pinnen.
Tappa 2 är inte heller jättekatastrof. Det känns som rundningen och riskar vi 3 då är det stjäla 1 eller riska 3.
Jag ser nog hellre en nolla än tappa 2 i alla fall.
Ja, men då spelar vi den där. Vi kan på kanten bättre än den. 11 eller 10?
Ja, en 11 tycker jag, Niklas.
Well, Kenny, my Swedish isn't as good as it used to be, but I can tell you this much, that Sweden don't want to give up a 2 here, but they also don't want to give up a blank end either. For them, a score of 1 either way is a good result, and they're trying to work out their best way, so they don't really want to play too many takeouts, I would say, in this end and clear the house. That could lead to a blank end. So they're probably just going to try and move things around a bit. So maybe a hack weight takeout being called here, but meanwhile, next door, Kenny?
Yeah, Russia, Scotland. Scotland trailing 5-4. Arkhipov looking for... I think he's going to try and play the pick or thin double on the yellow. But just playing a controlled weight.
No, certainly doesn't want to touch his own red.
And this one beginning to move pretty hard now. Have they done enough? Feathered the top red. And has it spun over the top? Is it going to be a steal for Scotland? It is. And that game all tied at 5-5 into the 10th. So a great comeback from Scotland. But back with the feature game between Norway and Sweden. They're also tied 5-5. Sweden really pushing hard for the force. Have they got this one past? They have.
Just not enough running on this one from Oscar. He's made some great freezes, but that one just a little bit shy for weight.
Yeah, it's certainly getting a little bit frosty and tracky out there. And you see most of the guys have started to use at least one hair broom in the arena. Just to try and shift some of the frost.
Well, Norway trying to score 2 here now. I think they know that any possibility of a blank end is gone. Yeah, see, stones are just starting to curl a little bit more on them as well. And another catch there. Still in a useful position though for the Norwegians.
Yeah, there's the hair broom that we spoke about earlier.
Det är rätt bra ändå. Chappar vi och han chappar tillbaka, då kan du skicka garden på det.
First time we've seen the frost really have an effect on the games this week.
I just wonder if it's a little bit colder out there tonight. All the skips are wearing jackets. That you don't often see Niklas wearing a jacket, that's for sure.
So Nicholas throwing the heat with this one. Looking to remove both reds. And manages to pick the back one. But Norway still with a chance to sit 2.
Torgeir, jeg ser bare akkurat hele hans. Jeg tror det er bedre at vi prøver å rulle. Ja, du prøver å rulle litt da. Ja. Eller du må bestemme noe på forhånd nesten.
So Thomas will just be trying to play the nose hit. Maybe a little check to the right.
Hakk! Ja. Hardt slag. Hardt!
Borte ut av hånda. Frågan är var man spelar. Den där tycker jag. Och inte helt jämna med.
Ta hånda som är borta.
Samma nu att man kan runda.
Det är
bra. Så jävligt svårt där ute. Alltså, bara få bort den här. Ja. Det är klart, lägger du där. Om den gula, den kan inte spinna dit ens. Han borde vi skulle lite utsida så. Får vi den där. Peta ner den. Ja. Bite linan på träffen. Ja. Tror du så mycket? Lite dryg normal. Så. Säkert lite utsida. Ja. Ja, den kommer kalla upp där. Ja.
So looking at that one, this is going to be a great opportunity for Nicholas to force one. Big mistake from Thomas Olsrud. Just looking for a 3/4 stone. And it's going to make Thomas Olsrud play against 4.
Såg ut som det fick som drift, så jag tänkte den här kan dra kall. Ja, man såg rodret komma ut. Ja, bra.
ganske liksom her, tror jeg det var, på andre søppelen.
Tror det. Noe så snett seger her nå. Ja.
Full 4 da.
Okay, this is I would say this is no gimme, as you rightly observed. The ice is getting a little bit whiter, especially around the houses. You can really see it.
Yeah, even on the carpets in and around the sheets, it's beginning to build up with the white frost as well. Supers just keeping this one running, and that one makes the 4 foot. Just does enough to pick up their one.
They looked a little bit casual as that one was coming into the house, but it has got there, I think. Really nice draw there by Thomas Olsrud, and it's all Sweden at the moment, really dictating the running of the play.
Yep.
One end to come here, and Sweden trailing Norway by 6 shots to 5.
Jeg følger den å gå, Håvard, synes ikke den. Ja. Beklager, jeg skal prøve å legge opp til det.
So the sweeping of Team Norway, Håvard Peterson on the left and Christopher Sve on the right, looking to bring this one down into the forefoot.
Yeah, two of the best judges in the business, and I think this was just an efficient sweep, only just getting it far enough to save some energy for the 10th end.
Yeah, so great force on the 9th. Sweden just hanging on to Norway right through this game. Norway the stronger team in the first 5 ends, but Sweden really coming on to a game.
So the standard setup really for the game. Top 4 and a corner guard from Sweden. Did manage to make their 2 in the 8th end. Can they do it again here in 10 to make the great escape, really?
Yeah, final score over on sheet A, Czech Republic picking up a win over Denmark. Czech Republic, that's their 3rd win of the week. Denmark only with 1.
Linjen är bra. Kortare än förra, men inte med svinmycket marginal. Bara stanna, linjen är helt lugn. Linjen är helt lugn, bara stanna. Bra.
They've gone for a double corner guard here, and they've had quite a lot of success around this in-turn side, I would say. Certainly Oscar's made some terrific out-turn draws around. Yeah, so Bumpy just trying to catch his breath before he throws this next draw. After a big sweep on the last one.
Bra pack. Ja, bra. Bara håll det.
Yeah, Norway in great shape now. That's a perfect stone.
Well, that was a bit of a tight slide there from Christian, had to set it back. This might run pretty straight on the Swedes.
Yeah, he's just trying to hold the shooter in the 12-foot. But that's not going to hang around.
Yeah, it just looked like he was fighting that one all the way out. So, Norway, they're going to come around the centre again. Great to see both teams just going so aggressive at one another.
Yeah, it's been like that through the whole game. Lots of stones in play. Yeah, so over on sheet D, Italy 8-2 winners over Latvia.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and Italy now on 5 wins and 2 losses, and could Italy make the playoff stages of the European Championships for the first time ever?
Nice delicate shot
Mycket bra. Härligt, Krille.
Oh, that's a beauty this time from Christian. And that could be the one that scores them 2 to win this game.
Samme som så.
Må det, Thomas.
I think it probably needs to be the guard again. I think Norway have set their stall out and they're just going to have to go for this now. Going to go hard for the steal.
Ja, det var fart! Vente! Max 2! Vente! Kom igjen, Thomas! Ja! Svabergå! Svabergå i stedet! Hardt! Hardt! Svabergå! Avstand! Kom igjen, helt ned hit! Kom igjen, Svabergå! Hardt! Kom igjen da! Hardt!
Torgan Ergard really has been superb in this game.
Det er nesten for mye, vet du.
Risk att klippa egen, men samtidigt måste vi kanske göra det långt nog. Gör det. Träffar där, nu sätter chapp där så blir det okej.
So Sweden
Nästan chappa, vecka lite.
not really too worried about the one that's on the button. They're more trying to open the centre up.
Well, they've done half the job here in getting a Yellowstone in behind the centre guard. The next job is to clear up the centre line. Sorry, in behind the corner guard. Oh, and that'll help with that. One problem that Sweden might have here is that the two guards kind of level near the centre line are just at the top, just at the bottom of your picture there. Could affect his final draw to the forefoot.
Yeah, timeout being called though.
Det er ikke så lett å legge en centerguard, da. Det blir jo bare spill på hans provinsvisen. Ja, men det blir det nå. Det er ikke så lenge den sin dag, da. Ja, hvordan skal du komme deg hit, da? Sånn her, du skal sette høyt. Det er morsommere hvis han rømmer av flyget, da. Ja, da er det bare 2 dager og drar ut, da. Du skal dra dit der, han står i dagen, har ikke vært der. De her har ikke vært noe. Nei, det er de der du må dra rundt. Ja, du må dra rundt der. Den der har ikke vært noe.
Det kommer jo bare en
Nei,
rull.
du må dra hit, da.
Ja, jeg vet det.
Så ruller han. Ja, så ruller han, men da må du spille etter det, da. Jeg er enig med Thomas. Du må dra bedre enn den der.
Ja, du må dra bedre enn den bak der.
Er ikke dette hjemme hos en gang?
Nei.
Da gutta sier at det er greit med et centerguard til etterpå, da.
Ja, til etterpå, ja. Men hvordan kommer du der? Du køler over, så ser du en fri.
Ja, men du trenger nesten ikke garde den. Du må nesten begynne på nytt her.
Nei.
Nei. Du må dra
Men hvor langt vil du da? Vil du bak 10?
Centerguard, så får de ligger skyte. Det er dessverre ikke nyttet. Vi må få toeren baki her.
Den steinen der har vært glatt hele veien.
Yeah, so while we're
Langt nå i stad.
deciding what to do, we'll take a look at sheet B, and looks like Russia have a clean pick for the game.
Yeah, great comeback though from Scotland. They've returned from the grave, really.
Stakalski for Russia, just playing the controlled takeout. This one looking pretty nice from the young skip.
Will it stick around? Certainly has. Great shot there by Evgeny Arkhipov. Gets Russia over the line in the 10th end. Final score there, Russia 6, Scotland 5.
One red.
Yeah, so 6-5 winners were Russia. And elsewhere, Switzerland picking up a win over Germany. And now Sweden look in great shape, and They have 2 in behind the corner guard.
Yeah, Norway are in a complete mess now. They don't have a good centre guard to come around, and they're facing 2 in behind the corner. Can Thomas Ulsrud pull another one out the bag? I wonder.
Yeah, it really needs to get tight in behind these corner guards. This one looks to be swinging pretty big now. Just maybe a little bit heavy. Might bounce into the open. I think he has. Nicholas should be able to see most of this stone.
Well, if Nicholas could just nose hit this, I think Thomas Ulsrud is going to be in a whole world of trouble. He's not going to have the option to try and play this freeze. Needs to really get to the nose of this one, Nicholas. If he rolls it all to the centre, then Ulsrud will have a double takeout to sit in behind the corner.
So 75% on his takeouts. Just control weight this time. This one beginning to move now. And yep, world of pain for Thomas Ulsrud.
There's just nowhere to go right now. Sweden line 3, they only need 2, but
they're actually looking at the intern draw, which I don't really think is there. In behind the 2 stones in the 8 foot.
well, I think Nicholas Sedin wouldn't have thought this would happen at half time. It seemed to be all Norway. But what a performance it's been from Sweden in the second half.
Yeah, still got just around a minute to play this shot. So more than enough time. So looking to maybe play the double and in behind the guard on the right hand side.
Okay.
A big shot for Thomas Ulsrud. Needs to at least make the double. Makes the double. Has he rolled to the open?
Oh, you can't do too much better than that, Thomas Ulsrud. At least he's making them play a shot to win the game.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You see Oscar Eriksson just cleaning the ice there, making sure there's no chance of any debris altering the direction of this stone. So final stone of the 10th end for Nicholas Edin, looking to score 2 and pick up his 7th win of the week.
Looking good.
And this one, is it going to hang around in the 12 foot? I think it is, and it will be a score of 2 and a well-worked, manufactured win for Sweden. 7-6 winners over Norway.
Ja, bra. Det är bra. Ja. Det där halvskippa bort den där.
So a great day at the office for Sweden. Norway, they'll drop to 4-3. So still in with a great chance of making the playoffs.
Alla andra har 3 förluster förutom Italien.
So a score of 2 in the 10th end was all Sweden needed to pick up the win. Just a shot of the scoreboard. 6th end. Thomas Olsrud electing to play the in-off the red on the tee line to try and score a single point. Just caught this one a little fat, and it was a steal of 1 to Sweden. 8th end. Nicholas Edin just having a straightforward nose hit for 2. Well manufactured end, and this one came down and hung around. And in the 10th end, once again Nicholas Edin with a chance for 2. Hack weight takeout round a corner guard. This one played perfectly, sat in the 12 foot. A score of 2 and a 7-6 win. Other games, Czech Republic, they managed to pick up a win, 5-3 over Denmark. We've seen Russia play a tight game against Scotland at 6-5. And here is the standings. Sweden 7-0, and Italy surprisingly sitting at 5-2. And there we see the best of the rest.
Niklas, 4-2 down at half-time against the reigning world champions. Did you think it was a lost cause?
I actually did, yeah. I felt pretty much impossible to get back from that start we had, and we didn't really cope with the ice at all. So lucky we got back and just gave it our last try, and it was a good try. So we managed to get enough points to win.
It looked like the ice conditions out there were changing quite a bit. How did you cope with that?
Yeah, we felt it walking here from our the apartment. We felt it was really foggy outside, and frost kept building up on the ice, and it was way different from all the other games we played. Even though it's been frosty during the week as well, but it was hard to make those draws in the beginning, and then it got worse afterhand. But I think we picked it up just enough in time there to be able to win.
7-0 now for the week. What's the secret of your new team?
Having fun, and then I think a great talent as well. Like once we're all playing well, it's we can make all the shots. So we got a lot of potential, especially on the hitting part. So I think all the teams need to really place their rocks well, and if we make our shots, we can get them flying. So I think that's a big key for us, just keeping that self-confidence on the big peels.
Nice one. Thanks for your time, and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
So that was winning skip Nicholas Edin. Great win for him. He moves on to 7 wins. But there's lots more action here from the Palladium in Champéry, Switzerland. So please join us again for more coverage of the championships.